Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. Now, in the last couple of episodes, we were grappling with a mystery. The mystery of what the hell's going on with the card album. And last episode, I think we basically got to the bottom of it, which is that it seems like there are creatures that are gonna be added to the game in later updates, but aren't in the game yet, but they are sort of, the game is holding their seats, so to speak. Like you go to a bar, you want to sit down, and like, oh no, I'm saving the seat for my buddy. That's kind of what's going on with the game, and the number being displayed on the denominator for the card album is that there are creatures that are not yet. They are yet to enter into this game, but nevertheless, the game is letting us know that they will eventually be there and they will eventually have cards of their own. So, in terms of what the game stands at right now, I don't think there are that many cards remaining to be collected in the version of the game that we have right now. We've got actually very few card sets. In fact, very few cards if we add them all up. Unless there's some set that we haven't even started. There are fewer than 10 cards remaining for us to find. In fact, we can just add them all up. There's 3, 4, 5 cards and we're potentially done. Of course, it's possible that there is a card set that we haven't even started on yet. But I think these are all we've got right now. Now, it's sort of a good news, bad news situation. Obviously, the good news is that there are more updates to come in this game, more content to be added, and, you know, the game, one can only assume, is going to be even better once those updates are added. Even if the only change is that there are more things to collect, I count that as a win, because there's so many achievements to get in this game, and a lot of them take a lot of grinding, and if there's more stuff to find alongside the grind, then makes it feel a little bit more worthwhile as you're going. And this is a great start. We've got a exotic realm, we've got a nether realm, and we've got a realm which doesn't have too much garbage going on. So this is going to be another exotic creature. Okay, I think I spoke too soon. This is one of those cast 11 times realms. Not sure why that enemy felt the need to take his turn before us. Maybe it was something to do with the exotic creatures trait. Oh, and this is fun. We don't see this often, the triple master nether encounter. Starting with the Reaper Master. You gotta love it. Even if they're masters you've already seen, getting 3 bits of mastery in one go, I'd say that's pretty good. The Occultist Master is number 2. Let's take you out. And also, you get a really nice amount of loot as well. All in all, you get like, what? 12 boxes? 6, yeah, 6 plus 6. So some pretty good loot alongside 3 extra bits of mastery. Carnage Master to round things out. And I'm already fairly happy with this realm. I've got to destroy this nether stone of rarity 230. Alright, let me take a look at what our Rune of Prophecies is looking like. 2 more Riddle Dwarves, that might happen. Life creatures, we're on the verge of doing that. Gotta kill a dumpling. Experiment mission, not gonna happen. Buried treasure might happen. Netherrealm, well, probably not gonna happen. So, we can try and force the issue in terms of dumplings. But, I don't know if I want to hard farm for dumplings, because for that we'd have to go into the Arachnid Nest. And I already have favor level like 170 with Regalis. And what I want to do as much as I can is be in like spend time in the other realms with the other gods, farm favor with all of them, because I want to reach level 100 eventually with all of the gods, just to see what their final bonus is, and you know, just to take everybody into the trip. Oh, come on, man. Oh my god. Okay, so a couple episodes ago, somebody left a comment. They were annoyed at how annoyed I get every time I fight enemies like, you know, these protected elites. And the gist of the comment, and I can understand this sentiment, the gist of the comment was, why are you so annoyed every time you fight an enemy and it takes an extra couple seconds to kill? And on the face of it, it's a legit thing to ask, because if you just in terms of the fraction of the time spent in the realm, that extra second spent fighting those guys, it's a pretty small percentage. Ooh, there's our dumpling. It's a pretty small percentage of the overall amount of time spent in the realm. Although, as I mentioned in my reply to that comment, even that extra second, like these extra seconds, add up given the fact that this is gonna happen like thousands of times. So over the course of all of the time spent playing this game, it's going to be literally hours spent wasted by enemies that took an extra, 3 seconds to kill than the battle should have taken. But even more so than that, it's the fact that it essentially just breaks the flow of combat, and you're essentially being told to redo your action as though what you just did like never happened, right? Enemies are just deciding not to take damage, or just deciding that, oh, I've got a damage cap, and you have to then just like do the whole thing over again, right? And this is the issue with giving trash mobs abilities like this, because it really feels wrong for a non-boss enemy with an attack that would be fatal against most bosses even, for a non-boss enemy to be telling me, oh no, you need to take an extra turn to kill me. Excuse me. So that's one part of it. Okay, a card and a gem, nice, but that's a duplicate card. Yeah, so one aspect of it is just the principle of the thing. But I think even more annoying than that is the fact that it breaks the flow of combat, because you get used to a flow in the game like, oh, I'm gonna kill these enemies in one turn, and I'm just waiting for the battle to end, and then I move on. And any enemy that forces you to take one extra turn, you've got to then, like, it just breaks your entire little rhythm, and it's something that you probably can't tell by watching. You can only really experience it by playing. But even playing a little bit in this game, and especially when you get to the late stage, when you are killing most enemies very quickly, the ones that don't die when they're supposed to, are it's just, if you know, you know. And why have I not finished this round? Oh, we gotta do these things. Okay, but yeah, if you know, you know. And the thing with this game is, given that there's an element of randomness to what you're gonna encounter in each realm, you could end up with like 3, 4, 5 realms in a row where all of the enemies are like this. And then that's just a bad time. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna summon some life creatures. God, excuse me. I think I'm coming down with something. I got my flu shot. What am I doing? I got my flu shot a couple days ago. I don't think this is related to that. I think just unrelated to that, I've come down with like a cold or something. God. Okay, come on, let's get this. Let's hand in the Rune of Prophecies. We'll start a new one. Everything's already falling apart. But yeah, like I try not to be too negative, but when the game is genuinely being annoying, I do feel like I would be lying to you if I pretended like I was feeling any way other than what any normal person would feel, I believe, in that situation. So what do we want to do? Are we ready to hand this in? I think we should just hand this in. Let me also take a sip of water because like my throat is dry. It's winter time now. It's a dry, just dry all around. I also haven't done commentary in a couple of weeks because I was busy with work. So I've got to have my voice get used to this again. Only 6 lines that time, but still, I think it is fine. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not accepting this. This is a trash Rune of Prophecies. 2 hunt missions, and you're gonna expect me to do arena combat? I don't think so. I don't think so, dude. Right. Let's pretend like that never happened. Let's also destroy that nether stone. Yeah, this is the one. Now let's save the game. Now let's hand it in. Now let's take a look at the new rune. Man, okay, if... Yeah, nope. Not accepting this. Not accepting this trash. And one thing that should be fixed in the game is there are so many things in the Rune of Prophecy that you would never even attempt to do because of either how annoying it is or how long it takes. So I think the Rune of Prophecy should be replaced with like these long, you know, like do 2 experiment missions. Like doing 2 of any mission should just be removed from the game. Replaced with things that are just, you know, more reasonable to ask somebody to do. Okay, so Jotun, we can take out Jotun. 2 hunt missions, whatever. Scratch cards, Kino, Assassination. Scratch cards, Kino, slot machine. So everything except Siralim. No, we have to do Siralim as well, so we got to do all 4 gambling things. Alright, we can handle this. We can handle this. Hey, look at that. We want something. Alright. Alright. Please don't give me extra moves. That's the only thing I don't want you to do. And I think we're fine. No, what did I just say? Okay, well, only 1 extra move is fine. Let's do this. Sure, whatever. Let's do this. Sure, whatever. Alright, that's all of our prophecies done, and we gotta remember to set a bounty against Jotun. Might as well start a hunt mission. Just with the hell of it. Oh, hey! We already had a hunt mission ready to hand in. Alright. Well, that actually kind of works out. Because now we can get that thing done. Alright. 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 Feeling pretty good. We don't have enough to start our second nether synthesis. Well, that's okay. Let's start our pilgrimage. I think anybody that's 79 or below. Ooh, I guess 80 or below now. Alright, everybody's at 80. And we'll start Keyforge. Alright, sounds good. 400 is a good bonus to take to a random realm. Ooh, another one of these. Pick a box. A lot of treasure. With a... excuse me, with a potentially new card, Triflarator. God. Obviously the pun is Triceratops. I don't know what the elemental pun is because I assume it's going to be in the Elementasaur card set. Yeah, Triflaratrops. We just found that. So... oh, flare, like fire related, maybe? I don't know what the joke is there, but good job to this dude. And let's move on. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know if... I'm not 100% sure I'm coming down with something. It might just be that my throat is really dry. And not having done commentary regularly has taken a bit of a toll on, excuse me, on my, ability, on my endurance. And that might be a part of it as well. Do we need to worry about you guys? We don't. Okay. Brachiosaurus. Nature? What? Sounds good. Alright. Let's just keep on moving. And, let's see what we can find. We've already found a new card, which I'm really happy about. Which should mean that there are only 4 left to find if my initial count at the start of the episode was correct. Do we need to worry about dumplings? We don't, but we do need to find a... excuse me, sorry, I'm so sorry about this. Maybe both of these things are true. I am out of practice commentating, and the air is dry, and I'm coming down with something. So all 3 of these things are all potential candidates for why I'm just struggling so hard to get through this episode right now. Anyway, this is going to be our 10th win against the Cataclysm Master, which is going to give us another costume, or another transmogrification option, and our final achievement for fighting that dude. We're done with this realm, I do believe. So I don't know why I'm still hanging around. I guess we can smash a couple things and then... oh yeah, hang on a second. I've got to do some candle enemies, right? Right. So let's get those done pretty quick. Let's get those done. Alright, so what do we need to kill? 17. Excuse me. And what types of creatures do we need to kill? Nature, sorcery, a lot of life, a lot of death. Excuse me? Oh, okay, so it's counting creatures that don't have cards. So let's get some of these guys. And then we gotta get a lot of death creatures, right? So the only ones would be these. Oh, these aren't even death. These marionettes aren't even death. Are there any death creatures with cards that we can actually summon? No, these are all exotic. No, there are no death creatures. No, the weapons dealer is also exotic. Well, that kind of sucks. And then these are all avatars, and that's the animatus. I guess I'll just get a marionette. I guess I'll just get a Qatar and there's got to be some nature creature for us to get. Yes, there is. There was a this guy. Well, let's make some room, and let's just get the candle kills done in this realm, just so that we never have to worry about it for the rest of this Rune of Prophecies. Taking a bit of extra time just to make things a little bit more convenient for ourselves over the long term. Obviously, you can play the game really quick as well, but well, that's nice. That's nice. 1% more damage for each permanent spell gem that belongs to another class. Alright, alright. So let's go back to the nature creatures and get some more of you guys. What do we got left? Gotta kill 11 more creatures. I really wish they hadn't lowered the amount of creatures that you can have in the realm in one go. I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but it just feels really bad, and it makes this Rune of Prophecies objective just so much more annoying. So much more annoying than it needs to be. Anyway, let's summon some more of you guys. Yeah. I tell you what. I tell ye what. You can summon god spawns, whatever. Just summon some random life creatures, because we need to do a bit of life creature killing as well. And let's take a look at the number of cards out of our current card sets that we started that still need to be found. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe I miscounted earlier on, because it looks like there's a few more to get. But I think we're good. I think we're fine. Anyway, let's get these last couple of kills. And let's move on to the next realm. Alright, boys. It's time to move on. Make sure there's nothing left here. Alright, new realm. Alright. We'll switch to doing this left-handed while I take a sip of water. Delicious water. And water really... I know technically it's probably tasteless, but something about in certain situations when you're really thirsty, for me, like, if it was anything other than water, it wouldn't taste as good. So I don't know, maybe it is tasteless, but there are times when it's like, I need to drink something, and the thing that I can drink, it can only be water, and like real water, like not sparkling water, not, you know, flavored sugar water, but like just regular plain water. Cold, but not ice cold, right? Like, not with ice in it. Or like maybe the jug had ice in it, but it's one of those jugs where you pour it out, and then the ice stays in the jug, and then you let it sit for like 30 seconds. Extra traits, come on, man. But yeah, it's gotta be water, and I think this water, in addition to being delicious, is giving me the energy to persevere with the questionable throat situation that I had earlier on in the episode, and oh god, I spoke too soon. As soon as I start thinking I'm out of it, I cough again. What the hell's... Gargantuans! God, they're fused with I knew there was something funny going on, man. I knew there was something funny going on. We've got enemies fused with gargantuans. Well, at least now that we know that that's what's causing the issues, we don't have to... We know that we can just avoid optional combat for the rest of this round. Yeah, gargantuans are another one of those enemies where it's like it forces you to take an extra turn, and even though I have excuse me, even though we have a macro set up to deal with them, it still does break your flow. So it's not ideal. Phobos, I don't remember what Phobos' deal was, but I think Phobos, we can fight without having to change our build. So for now, I'm just gonna assume that that's the case. .404. Let's go in. The fuck? Excuse me? What is... Oh, they're at the top of the timeline. They're at the top of the timeline, and they're just... That could have been really annoying, but luckily we dealt with it. Is that the final Elementosaur? That is. Now our creature's debuffs have a chance of being removed without us doing anything. Excuse me. So that was pretty good. And we're already done with this round, but we should take out the Master first. And let's look at our card album. It would appear there are perhaps only 4 cards left to find. The 2 Marionettes, 1 Lucanian, and 1 Robodomi. So Analtha is the Depths, the Forbidden Depths. Alright. It's been a profitable episode in terms of new cards found. And, you know, that's always something to celebrate. What the fuck is... That was an annoying fight. Alright, what was I even saying? That's the other thing about fights that last for one extra turn, is that they can derail your train of thought. I don't even know. I think the irony is, I was talking about how good this episode was, how well this episode was going, and then we run into a garbage enemy, and then my very optimistic outlook got completely interrupted by a garbage enemy. Anyway, let's take a look at this netherstone in favor of protection. We've also got to destroy that 176 one. Defense is added to other creatures. Not a bad trait. I mean, defense is a pretty good stat. Exotic realm, you love to see it. Alright. Okay. Take out these dudes. Have I donated? Now I have. Okay. Let's go up and around. Grab that, grab this. Yoink that. And go down. And let's go home first, because I have to destroy one of these, this one. And let's continue onwards. We are on a bounty, right? Oh yeah, and it's Jotun. So that's convenient. And it's going to be in the very next realm, so that's pretty good. Alright. I'm going to avoid the mirror ball fight, because it's a little bit... there's really no point to doing it. Overcharge sounds like chaos. Well, whatever. Don't really care. Alright, we gotta take out some obelisks for this realm, which I will happily do. As soon as I find them. Okay, double trait. Let's take a look at this one. Creature's gonna lose. That's actually pretty good. Ah, that's actually pretty good. Stats are kind of trash, but these two traits are both pretty good. Now, we don't need them right now, but for future builds, not losing stats is something that can be abused pretty heavily. For there are certain spells in this game, or like certain traits, which rely on, like, you lose some, like, in exchange for getting some really good bonus, you lose a lot of stats. But if you have a trait like this in the game, I think the bonuses would still apply, but you just wouldn't lose the stats. At least if I'm interpreting it correctly. It's also possible that for some of them, if you don't lose the stat, you don't get the effect, or the effect is only based on how much of this stat you've lost. You then, do X amount of damage, or you gain X amount of this other stat. And then it works out that you don't actually gain anything because nothing happens. But for others, if it's... God, I was trying to avoid this. But for others, if it's scripted that first you gain something, or maybe even parallel to you gaining something, you just lose stats. And then you sidestep the stat loss, but you still gain the thing. It's one of those where the wording really would make a huge difference. But it's a good thing to have. And obviously the other very obvious thing with anything that avoids you from that helps you avoid losing stats is that enemies are also frequently trying to make you lose stats, and then those things wouldn't happen either. So there's that as well. In fact, that might even be, like, for a lot of players, the main reason they'd want to pick up a trait like this is to just have it as a basic defensive thing. But, when you're deep into a game, the basic stuff is, it's fine. It'll never not be useful, but it's the crazy build potential that you really start to notice more and more. I think there's a chest that I left. Yes, there we go. Oh god, got just too many nether stones, man. Too many. What was this, 235? I think it's 235. Yeah. Alright. Alright, boys. Let's take out Jotun. Oh, one reason that I'm a little physically and even mentally tired right now is earlier today I finally beat so one game I've been playing not on the channel but just on my own is 9 Souls. It's a Metroidvania 2D platforming and Souls-like game, or I guess more like Sekiro more so than Dark Souls is the inspiration for the combat in this game. So, like very tough, rhythm-based combat where it's not necessarily like super difficult, but like it requires intense concentration. So much so that at the end of a tough boss fight, you are well, at least with me, it's not uncommon for my hands to be just like very, very sweaty, right? So I finally beat the final boss for 9 Souls, except I kind of took the coward's way out. So 9 Souls, like lots of these difficult games, they also have a story mode where like you don't have to, go through the whole Dark Souls experience of dying billions of times before you get to the end. You can just experience the story almost like a movie where occasionally you gotta do some platforming. Well, the game has an achievement for beating the game in non-story mode, so in standard mode. But you get the achievement regardless of which ending you take. And the final boss for the bad ending, well, the final boss for the good ending has a whole ass extra phase that he does not have in the bad ending. So I just beat the boss in the bad end. It was still very difficult, but I beat it just to get the achievement. And now, I think tomorrow I'm gonna try to get the good ending, but most likely I'll give it like maybe an hour. And with these fights, an hour is not really gonna be enough. But I'll give it an hour, and if I can beat the the triple phase fight for the good ending, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll just switch over to story mode. Long story short, it's a great game, but if you want to play it properly in, you know, standard mode, you gotta be ready to concentrate hard, and by the end of it, you're gonna be pretty exhausted. But also immensely satisfied. So if you haven't played that game, and if you enjoy Metroidvania games, and if you enjoy Dark Souls, and especially if you enjoyed Sekiro, you should definitely play that game. You'll thank me later. It's a truly excellent game. Alright. Now, with this fight, all we gotta do is, wait. All we gotta do is wait. All we gotta do is wait. Any moment now. Any second now. Yep, there we go. And what do we got? Let's take... I don't know. Let's just take whatever's on the top. You know, Bewitch. And enemy attacks when it's allies, you gain a buff. Useless, but I'll take it. Heaping Treasure gives us 7,000 reputation. That's pretty good. Alright. We can add in our Assassination. That's also pretty good. Which we are going to need to do for the Rune of Prophecies. So we'll do that. We don't need to add in our Goblet of Trials. Nope. Okay. Where's the exit? There's the exit. Alright, let's get that done. We've got to set a new bounty as well. Alright, who do we got left to kill? Not that many, but there's a few left. We gotta do Alakadan. And we'll start a new training mission. Keep doing health, no reason to do. I guess I should do some defense training, because that could be nice to have a few of those in reserve. Let's set a new bounty. What do you want to do? I'll do Lost Construct. I'll do Mindworm actually, because you got a lot of Saint Althea has the mermaid. Maybe we should do her. tell you what, let's do Impington Reborn, because I think he's got he's got the Grove Tender anointments to give us. So we should probably hit him up a couple times. And now let's just move on to the next realm and see how it goes. This is taking a while. Come on, man. Come on, man. Alright, I also gotta slow down, otherwise I'm gonna botch this. Alright, let's... Let's get this done, man. There we go, 386. And an okay realm. Gotta do some campfires. This agile creature is gonna be annoying, but they're dead. It sucks to be them. Alright. We still gotta take out the master, though. Hey, we had a rank with Lister, that's nice. Alright, let's Oh god. Alright. It was funny to have those protected guys have 3 of their guys killed by the Malice Harpy. So that's the only reason I didn't complain fighting those protected guys. Anyway. Let's get a move on. Alright. Alright. Alright, where are these campfires, man? Well, there's one. Hang on a second. No. It's gotta be those don't count. It's these ones. It's the ones that we're lighting, not the ones that are already lit. There we go. And there's no need to hand in this Keyforge mission, so we'll just hold on to it. And we're just gonna keep going. I reckon we're just gonna keep going. 386, there we go. And the Gambler's Hive. I love the music in this realm, always a good time. And the realm itself seems to be pretty decent. We're gonna kill a rebel. Yeah, how dare anybody rebel against us? There can be no dissent in the realm of Siralim. Alright, boys. Let's go around here. I guess we'll take some random bonuses from you. Let's go down. Oh, I guess let's hit this chest. Now let's go down. Really? Oh, God. Man, I hate it. I hate when there's a thing that visually is obviously big enough for you to move through, but the game insists that the path is blocked. That was annoying. But at least they didn't have a shield bearer in their party, because that would have really sucked. Anyway, let's hit this exotic round. Pretty quick. What do you got for me? What even are you? Haunting glass. Okay. Good for you. Right. A couple more chests. It's pretty nice. And I think that's gonna be the rebel. So let's quickly chat with this man. I'm sure if we just speak to him, he will see the error of his ways and go away peacefully. Obviously, he didn't do that. We had to kill him. But just imagine that, you know, we instead spoke to him and had a nice civil discussion about the importance of, you know, respecting the old Siralim traditions and not trying to lead the youth astray with his newfangled ideas. Alright. Having successfully crushed the people's will to revolt, let's make our way to the next realm. Alright, let's see what we got. We've got Jiran, who I think is another safe boss fight for us. 411 is going to be a good bonus. And we are in the Arachnid Nest. Alright, that's fun. Getting a bit of extra favor with Regalis. We're far away from the next favor rank, but this does take us closer, so, you know, I'm not going to complain. Alright, we've got to find another boss as well. Alright, that's the bad outcome from that cocoon. Don't really care about getting into fights. We do want to find a treasure golem though, if we can. So let's see if we can. Alright. There you are. Let's quickly snipe Jiran. And let's move on. Protected enemies, of course. Of course. I'm gonna try and ruin the mood. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I think mainly I'm just like I said, I beat the final boss in 9 souls earlier, and that's just taken up. It took so much out of me that I don't even think I have the energy to be properly angry at this game right now. Which I guess in a way is a good thing. It's not even that late. It's like not even 10 p.m. right now. I mean, I should be in bed like by before 11, so I don't have that much more time if I want to stick to that schedule. But like, the point is, it's not even that late, and I'm still so exhausted because of how stressful that fight was, man. Oof. So yeah, I know I was recommending the game earlier, but I mean, no, it has a story mode, so you don't have to sit through the same stressful experience that I did. If you want, like, if you want to play the game for the ambience and the story and the amazing soundtrack and the wonderful artwork, yeah, that's all well and good. But if you're like me and you're like, I need to at least get the achievements, like maybe not do everything on hard mode, but at least get the achievements, you're gonna be in for a few you know, butt cheek clenching moments for sure. Like when I beat the final boss, it was one of those classic, like, I'm one hit away from dying situations. Like, one hit away from dying for like more than 20 seconds, waiting for an opportunity to land the final hit, and like missing 3 or 4 because I was like second guessing myself. It's one of those where if you are a fraction of a second too late when you begin your attack, you will take a hit. Might not be a big hit, but it'll be a hit. And if you're one hit away from dying, then you don't have that luxury. And then obviously if you see yourself missing out on obvious windows to attack because you're worried that you were too slow, and then you're like, oh no, I actually wasn't too slow, and then you're just sitting there waiting and watching the boss go through its attack pattern, wondering when the next shot is gonna be. God. So if you enjoy experiences like that, then I think you'll have a good time playing 9 Souls standard mode. But if you don't enjoy that, then I will probably recommend giving story mode. Well, I mean, you should like try some of the easier bosses and see how much you like that. But you know, if on the easier bosses you're like, ooh, I don't know about this, this is a bit too stressful, then yeah. Then yeah, you should definitely do it on story mode. Anyway, we just got an achievement called Starry Night for 50,000 Stardust. We need 1.5 million. We're very far away. But we're at least we've begun our collection. All right. We gotta rescue somebody to finish this realm. What are they fused with? Cerberus, okay. Is there a Cerberus enemy that, like, puts your guys to sleep? Or was that something else from the last couple fights? I think it was probably something else from the last couple fights. Alright, let's rescue this person. And let's move on. Alright, what do you got for me in this realm? Oh, the Leech Digger. Alright, right. Ooh, this is gonna be the last Lucanian card. Lucanian Aspectal. It's pretty good. Now we have more attack and intelligence. Useless stats. Nevertheless, at least the card set is complete. That's a bit of progress. Racing towards completing the new cards added in the 2.0 update. Alright, let's get this done. What do you got for me? Shalon is the Feylands. Yeah, we're done with this realm, so let's just leave. I think we're probably close to finishing this episode. Let's just see how long we've been going for. An hour and 2 minutes, maybe a couple realms. Maybe we're not right at the verge of it, but there's not going to be that much left. Alright. Now let's leave. Go to the right. Find the exit. Where's the exit? It's up there. Alright, let me take another sip of water as we move. I don't know why I went home. There's no reason to go home. Luckily, it doesn't take that much time. Let's just move on to the next round. 366 is going to be a good bonus. Back in the Gambler's Hive. I'm not going to complain. You gotta find resource nodes. Extra traits is annoying as hell. But, you know what, we'll get through it. Another exotic realm. Okay, this realm is gonna be a bit of an issue. That's another exotic creature, I think, that we unlocked a new one. Right, let's do this. That was a nice fight. Not like the first couple. Alright, I'm gonna destroy that. That's rarity 258. I'll try and remember that. And I'm gonna avoid optional combat. Unless it gives us treasure. So I'm not gonna fight these luck mantrias. I guess we have a chance to get extra treasure chests in this realm. So there's a case to be made to get into some combat. Alright. Okay. Okay. That's the Devil Master. That was a straightforward fight. My favorite kind. Alright. Let's do that. Well, that was annoying. You summoned more enemies. I guess that's not that bad because that's going to be more treasure chests for us. Oh my god, that was annoying. Whatever was going on with those guys. But at least they're dead now. Alright. Alright. Step up. And let's just see what's going on in this part of the realm before we move on. Maybe there's something fun. Not really. But at least we looked. Alright, let's go. Potentially to the final realm, or maybe one more, we'll see. Wrong place. No, that is the final realm. And we're back in the same realm. Got some buried treasure to find, and we do need to find it. But we're probably not going to... find 4 of them. Chance to resist damage, of course. Annoying as heck. Oh my god, okay. And it's these realms that really suck. Because, yes, protected elites are horrible. But you only find, like one of them per realm. But a realm where potentially, like, every single enemy is gonna take... like, force you to do an extra action because they just... like... didn't take damage for like no good reason. Any whatever, man. I ain't even got time for this. All right. What do you got for me? All right, you're dead. Okay. What do you got for me? Easteros is going to be the answer to that. Alright. Where is everything? Where is everybody? There's you. Yeah, you can have 10 buffs. See if I care. Definitely avoiding optional combat in this realm. Sure. Give him even more chance to avoid my damage. There's a mimic. let's just take this dude out. What's your deal? And he's going down. And he's gone down. Right, nothing in those chests. Again, I'm just gonna take whatever's at the top. Heaping treasure gives us Marionette Harlequin. Right, that's pretty good. Because now we know that there's only one more marionette card to find. One more Robo, and those are the only 2 cards left. So we might actually complete the 2.0 card collection next round. Now we have our hunt ready to hand in. Here's an interesting dilemma we find ourselves in, is we need some death creatures to kill. And you know what? I'll wait until we find a treasure golem. Yeah, I'll wait until we find a treasure golem. Or will I? Or will I? You know what? I'll decide. You know what? I'll hand it in now. What we'll do is we'll summon some death creatures at the candle. Because then what we can do is when we... that's only going to be one more line though. And if we got the treasure golem, that would only be one more line as well. Tell you what. I'll decide this. I'll decide this next episode. I'm too tired for this right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna head home. It's way... I'm way too low on energy to be playing the game this efficiently. So we'll have a mostly completed Rune of Prophecies that we'll decide when to hand in at the start of next episode. I do want to find a treasure golem. I feel like we've been exceedingly unlucky to not even find a single treasure golem in all the time that it took us to finish this hunt mission. Nevertheless, it's kind of... You know what? We should at least just hand in the hunt mission. And now we've got, like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 lines completed. Again, we could just hand it in, but I'll decide it next episode, I think. For now, let's hand in a... or let's start a new bounty, and I think I'm just gonna do Jotun. I'm just gonna do Jotun. We gotta whittle down the number of anointments we gotta find from that guy, and let's reflect on what was accomplished in this episode. Let's see what sort of achievements we got. Starry Night, Competent Fanatic 8. It's only 20 more realm quests with a Fanatic, and then we're done. We be the Master of Cataclysms, we be the Master of Elemental Swords, Master of Lucanians, Master of Space. I think now we're getting into the previous episode achievements. So we got some good achievements there. Let's look at some of the other progress we got on our various things. So, how are we on creature parts? 6.31 million, just inching forward on that one. How are we on this stuff? So 372 runes of prophecy handed in, and what else? 2,755 overall. 2,755 lines in our runes, in our rune of prophecies. We went past 50,000 stardust. We got a lot of that to get, and we're getting through these fanatic realm quest achievements as well. Let's take a look at some of the realm achievements. We are at 43,925 resource nodes, and roughly double that for destructible objects, and we're past 45,000 treasure chests. So for some of these achievements, we're actually getting really close. We're also at 997 nether portals, so that'll be a good one to get crossed off the list. And yeah, I think that just about sums it up. Just hand in this pilgrimage. Start a new pilgrimage. With you, start a new Keyforge, I guess. And let's start a, I don't know, forge mission. And with this, I think we're gonna call it good. So, like I said, made some pretty good progress. We are pretty close to finishing all of the card albums that we are currently working on, and unless there's some completely new card album that we haven't even started to collect, then my suspicion is we are close to finishing off all of the cards that were added in version 2.0. And if that's the case, then I'd say we got those done in really good time. Anything else happen notable this episode? Not really, not that I can recall. We just, went deeper through the realms, killed a few masters, got a few, got progress on a few different things. So, pretty happy about that. And sets us up nicely for next episode, because there's a couple different things that we're looking forward to in the next episode. One of them is potentially finishing up the 2.0 card album, even though the game won't tell us when we do, because there's a lot of cards that are gonna be added later but aren't yet in the game, that are gonna eventually make up the 1,482. But it seems that the maximum for us might be 1,143. Anyway, that's something we'll think about next episode. Another thing that might happen next episode is, depending on how many nether realms we find, we might get the achievement for 1,000 nether realms. Either next episode or the one after that is when that'll be done. But yeah, I think that's gonna be all for this one. I'm gonna say thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Hope you weren't too put off by all the like my pitifully weak throat, all the coughing early on in the episode. I feel like I hit my stride, when we got past like the 20-minute mark. But yeah, hope you had a good time nonetheless, and hope you will join me on Thursday for the next episode. And until then, take care.